Hey there. How's it going? What are you doing in my channel, Marauder Otter? Let's make sure things are set up here. It's been a little bit since we streamed. I'll get rid of that. I don't remember what page that's on, so I'll skip that. Dashboard up. Nightbot's probably not there. Nightbot fell asleep. Saw my purpleness on Discord. Yes, it is. It does indeed signal. I don't know, Nightbot's probably around and he's probably going to blow someone away later today. So yeah, I'm going to stream, I think I'm going to stream a league. I think I'm going to do a friendly league because competitive is just expensive. We're going to play this deck that I've been playing at F&M and other places. You're welcome to watch Marauder, although I don't know if you like watching Magic or not. Either way, though, you brought me up to, a couple viewers, right? Showing up here. All right, well, if I'm going to get a league in, I got to get started on that. I'm going to talk about the deck real briefly. I'm going to share this probably on the MTG Salvation forums under the Pyro Prison thread. I've said I've been going to do this for a little bit, so put this together. I do have a dog. The dog is being quiet right now. The dog does like to bark. If the dog say barks, I apologize. Right now she is laying asleep, but we'll see if that continues. All right, so what are we looking at here? This is Pyro Prison. I call it Pyro Prison the pre-board, or as it's sometimes referenced, as you can see in the little logo there, the banner from the thing. It's a sideboard deck, basically. And what this deck is trying to do is basically, I wouldn't call it a complete metagame pick, but what it tries to do is it tries to actually be one step ahead in terms of being already pre-boarded for multiple matchups, and then when we go to board on games 2 and 3, we decide what role we play, whether that's the aggressor aggro matchup or we choose the control matchup. The idea is that we're supposed to kind of hose the opponent the first game with this column right here. So let's go through the deck. We have a few Gemstone Caverns for if we are unlucky on our dice roll. I believe it's 17 mountains and 1 Mutavault. Down here, Mutavault. We then have this column here, the second column, which is 4 Desperates and 1 Pyretic Ritual, and then 4 Simian Spirit Guides, and these are our ramp spells, as Redwood Ramp, with the typical pay 2, get 3 mana, or exile and get fast mana. In column 3, we have what I call the lock pieces. Usually you would lay these out in your curve. I lay them out based on how they're functioning in our deck. So we have 6 Blood Moon effects, turns non-basics into mountains. We have Ensnaring Bridges, preventing our opponents from attacking us. And then we have Chalice of the Void, which is usually a fairly hard lock to some of the 1 or 2 mana spell matchups that we run into. This is probably the most conditional, but it does get different people, makes it hard to play around, especially if it's coming in game 1. We never get it very high because our mana count is fairly low. However, a Chalice on 0, 1, or 2 is pretty solid. Next, we have Goblin Rabblemaster. This is actually probably the reason I like it better than Free Win Red, personally. Goblin Rabblemaster is playing the role of aggressor. He doesn't always show up game 1. However, if he does, he can be quite a beating if not dealt with. We have a few people on the forums that have contributed to the deck. And I guess I'll go with Stick Walrus. Likes actually the Mutavault combination with Goblin Rabblemaster. Mutavault is, after all, a creature of Goblin type. and many other types. So there's some fun math there as well that goes on. During the deck's evolution, we get into this kind of like this next spot here. So we have 2 Abrades. These are our removals and artifact destruction. Helps us a little bit in the affinity matchup and any other pesky artifacts we might run into. Currently, I think one of the more recent builds has 2 Slag Storms. These can hit face or hit and do the impression of Anger of the Gods. So we leave those in for sweepers. And then we have a couple Walking Ballistas, and these are treated as spot removal. These are treated as endgame winning. Just pump them up and then start shooting the opponent in the face. And a variety of other just kind of utility type interactions. These are one of the newer additions to Pyro Prison, and so we'll run that and see how that does. Finally, we have our Planeswalker package. This does vary slightly, and I am in the camp of an extra Chandra. So we have 4 Chandra Torch of Defiance, which is becoming a key card in Pyro Prison. I run 1 single Chandra Pyromaster for digging while not filling your hand for Ensnaring Bridge, and also a pinging effect. This helps Rabblemaster either get through or ping off pesky little mana dorks, things like that, that are helping fix our opponent's mana. And then in this case, a single Koth. Sometimes people run 2 Koths. Some people run just the 1 and something else. And so I would argue this Chandra is a bit of a flex spot, could be placed here. Koth, if you're not sure what Koth does, he basically is a win condition getting us up to mountains and hitting our opponent in the face by just tapping mountains. Real quick onto the sideboard. Whoa, before we jump into our league here. Let's grab this out a little bit. I've split this into 2 sections here. It really could be 3 or 4, but we have the Eidolons and Hazarets, and that's when Ensnaring Bridge comes out and we're the aggressor. We have then kind of the control package, which is mainly the left side. However, there's a few that are more utility. Our package that is more control is more Angers, more Shattering Sprees, Graveyard Hate for Grafdigger Cage kind of thing. Sorcerer's Spyglass does the Pithing Needle job. We have a Spellskite to protect things, and Torpor Orb for all those ETB creatures. Finally, we have a Boil. Boil is instant speed and excellent removal for our blue Nemesis land, the island. So that's what I'm going to be running. Like I said, 1 flex spot here with the Chandra is what I think right now. The other flex spots are these 6. And really, it probably is actually these 4. These 4 or these 5. The Walking Ballistas found quite a home here, so we'll go with that. With that being said, let's see here. I think I've got enough for... Let's see here. Pyro Prison. We're going to just do a friendly because it's a little cheaper. Gets me in to a game. I think I've got play points here. Let's see here. Join League. And we have 80 play points. All right. Let's make this the right size. And we'll join our first league match. And then if you have any questions, I have the chat. Hopefully I've got everything OBS'd up correctly. I have the chat there on the far right. I got a weird black space above it, which I'll probably put the record in when we get to that. And yeah. Hopefully nothing gets out of alignment as we go here. All right, let's take a look at our first opening hand here. Let's get rid of this chat. Don't need that. Would I like to play first? Of course. Ooh, all right. Well, this is a little bit interesting. 1 Pyretic, so that means a turn 2 Blood Moon. Plenty of lands. Turn 2 Blood Moon's almost too slow sometimes. We're against an unknown opponent here. I kind of like this. It's redundant in the Blood Moon. It's slow to get Blood Moon out. The goal is to get Blood Moon on turn 1. We do have a Chandra later. We don't have any kind of real lock piece other than Blood Moon, so we would have to hope they don't have a turn 1 play. It's redundant to hand disruption. Alright, well, we gotta learn, so we're gonna go ahead and keep it. See where our opponent goes. Play a mountain, pass the turn. Alright, Seacombe Croast. This looks like this is possibly ad nauseam. Alright, well, we'll go ahead and run this out and get our Blood Moon going here. Turn off our opponent's white-blue lands and blue-black. So we're trying to avoid here, assuming this is the ad nauseam matchup, we're trying to avoid Phyrexian Unlife. We're trying to avoid Angel's Grace as well. Okay, they're going to fix their mana a little bit with Pentad Prism. Alright. At this point, I don't feel like a second Blood Moon is going to matter, especially since we're in game 1. I think we just want to turn on the aggression here. This does mean we're going to represent that we have aggro in our matchup here. I believe some of our friends over at MTG Salvation make it very well known that you want to be aware of what you're showing at game 1. So we're showing creatures game 1. Not that ad nauseam per se does a whole lot with creature removal, but they certainly would be aware of it. This matchup actually might just be a bit of a race anyway. Okay, a Braid's pretty good. Destroys an artifact. We'll probably want to hold on to that. In the event that they can get out like a Lotus Bloom or another Pentad Prism. I think we're just going to run Chandra out here after attacks. And just going to go with the beatdown plan here. Mountain can't cast, do 2 damage to them. I think we're safe to be down 1 turn on the Abrade, not being able to fire it off, just because most of their most of what they're going to be doing involves suspending artifacts. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to get them to the appropriate life here. So what's nice is we can use Chandra to get them to negative life, and I think we have lethal? I think we do. We won't play another Chandra. We'll get them to negative life here. And I think we got this game 1. I think that's enough. If I'm remembering how this card works. Yep, and they scoop it up. All right. Well, this one's a bit of an interesting one. Ad nauseam. I haven't played against ad nauseam in a while. So one thing that's talked about quite a bit is determining what you are. In this case, I want to say we're actually the aggressor. I don't know many ad nauseam lists that have creatures. Could be wrong. But what we probably want to keep in is at least the Abrades. I don't know if we... Let's see here. So let's see here. Let's make these a little bit bigger. There we go. Alright, so we're going to bring in the Eidolons and Hazoret for sure. I think Ensnaring Bridges down here we'll pull those out. I just don't see them attacking us. What else? Spellskite could be good just to protect like a Blood Moon. Boil's probably no good because I don't think they run very many basic islands. Maybe 1 or 2 at most. Grafdigger's Cage, probably not good. Let's see here. Sorcerer's Spyglass actually is pretty good here because we can name Lightning Storm here. I think that might actually be really important. So let's bring those in. Chalice on 1 is probably okay. I think the Slag Storms we could probably pull out. It's 3 to the face, but I think the Spyglass would be better. Preventing them. Anything else? I think Torpor Orb's probably no good. Spellskite would be fine. We took his Ensnaring Bridges out. Shattering Spree would probably be okay as well. It might be worth it. It's hard to say because they're only going to have really Lotus Blooms. It's sorcery speed here versus the instant of a Braid, and probably when it comes off suspend, they're probably going to be attacking. We're going to go ahead and run this back. See how that goes. This is a great hand, I think. We don't have a Blood Moon, but we have the ability to turn off a few different things. Not only Lightning Storm, but I think also their ramp. We have a way to start punching in face, although it won't be very quick. And then we have a way to deal damage to them quickly. So we're going to try keeping this. This matchup's a bit weird. I can't say I've played it very often. I don't know if Ad Nauseam is making a resurgence back online. One turn too late there, Gemstone. Alright, I think we're going to want to be getting this Eidolon down pretty quick, so go ahead and put that out. Pentap Prison. What's their mana abilities? Yeah, I guess it only can name really Lightning Storm now that I'm looking at it. Alright. Play an Eidolon down. Eidolon will hurt us. I think if there's any filtering like Serum Visitants or other pieces like that, it hurts our opponent more. We actually don't have any enchantment removal, so Phyrexian on life. Kind of interesting. Are they going to go for it here on turn 3? Looks like it. So maybe we should have put the Sorcerer's Spyglass down. I thought we had probably one more turn. Looks like we don't. They have a Laboratory Maniac. Let's see what else they have in their deck. A couple Disenchants. I want to see Lightning Storm. Am I just missing it, or they might have it in hand? I need to know that's their win con. Yep, there's Lightning Storm. Well, that's how to lose in turn 3. Yeah, I guess so. We should have played Sorcerer's Spyglass first. Hard to say we would have known to do that. Let's take a look here. Do they have... Just glancing through, trying to see if there's anything we care about. Spoils, Disenchant, Artifact or Enchantment, so that could get us. And it looks like unless he has one in the hand, he's running a single. It's at 2 mana, so that's important to know as well. I don't see anything that could bounce either here. Alright, our opponent's got it. We'll go to the next game. Alright. Let's see here. So he has a Laboratory Maniac, which he could play. Laboratory Maniac's a 2/2. So Braid's good for that. Walking Ballista is good to do that. To kill him as well. Sorcerer's Spyglass is fine. I feel like the Eidolon's still pretty decent because they usually run a lot of low mana spells, and we are the aggressor. Shattering Spree could be good here. Trying to think if there's a reason to keep Chalice in. Probably like you could probably Chalice on 0. That's a thing. Man. Alright. I think I'm going to run it back. I think we just got a little unlucky there. A little bit of the nut draw. That happens. Alright. Would I like to play first? Yes. Wow. This hand does nothing. We can spend all of our things immediately. We're going to mulligan this. Alright. Magus the Moon on turn 3 could be too slow. We just watched us eat our faces. Walking Ballista is okay. I mean, we're not getting out on turn 2 unless we have a Desperate on top. I hate to keep this because of what just happened, but I think we're gonna go ahead and keep it. Ooh, Desperate on top's good. All right. All right, we're gonna put out a mountain. Pass. It's going to be a turn 2 Blood Moon. It's not too bad, I guess. Lotus Bloom. Okay. Alright, we're going to shut off a lot of our opponent's lands here in terms of doing what they do. We won't shut off that many of them, though. Alright, we learned our lesson last time, so I think we're going to jam this Sorcerer's Spyglass. We don't want that happening again. We will get a peek at their hand, though. Okay. Alright. So we have Pentad Prism, City of Brass, Ad Nauseam, and some Serum Visions. Okay. I think we still want to name Lightning Storm. Mainly because Laboratory Maniac will be able to shoot it down if need be. I think. Alright. So now they have to find Disenchant. I think I'm okay with leaving it up to that, especially since they have no blue mana. Oh, there's one Serum Visions. Should probably have my chat open. Alright, there's the other Serum Visions. I think they're digging. They could put out another Pentad Prism for 2, and that's what they do. Sleight of Hand was drawn from a Serum Visions. They are digging. They're digging very rapidly too, because they do know that their win con is Lightning Storm. All right. So we draw a Simian Spirit Guide. I think we attack here. And really the question is, do we use Simian Spirit Guide to get a Chandra down? Probably. Chandra's ultimate is inevitability. Playing the Simian Spirit Guide is an option, but it's the same as playing the Chandra for the repeated 2 damage. And I think Walking Ballista we can get out a turn later. So we're going to jam Chandra here. I'm going to tick up Chandra and do some more damage. That's not what we want to see. Getting exiled. But we will live with it. Darn. That's one of our answers to Laboratory Maniac. I think we just play the Walking Ballista on the off chance that they ad nauseam with Laboratory Maniac. I guess we can hold it in hand as well as kind of a hidden removal. Might not be bad. Suspends another Lotus Bloom. Cashes in our Lotus Bloom here. We're spoiling of the bolts, looking probably for disenchant. How do I get my chat back up here? Okay, we're doing Angel's Grace. Well, I don't think it matters. We're ad nauseam. So we're going to get probably Lightning Storm and what, Disenchanted here. But he needs enough to cast Lightning Storm. So the question is he going to try to... well, Laboratory Maniac doesn't work because Chandra can just shoot it, right? Or he can draw. I think he can actually draw. And so our opponent's drawing their deck here. How are they going to win here? Play a land, the mountain. Manamorphose to fix mana. And 2 blue. Comes Laboratory Maniac. And now they draw a card. Alright, there you go. Well, that was not the best game 1 or match 1. Let's see here. Instead of playing Chandra, we could have Walking Ballista for 2. I think, looking at their deck though, I think, because he could have Phyrexian and Disenchanted as well. So I don't think there was a way around that one. All right. Well, that's 1 loss. 1 loss. We'll run it back here. See how our next match goes. Let's see here. I think I can throw up a little bit of a score up here. Add text. Let's see here. So match. 1 games 2. That'll work. Here, let me just pull my chat out to the side in case I need to grab it. Alright. Alright, this is slow to get Blood Moon out by a turn, but we do have Chalice as well on 1. It's soft to hand disruption, but I think it's keepable. Let's see what our opponent's on. Oh. Ah. Lovely. I think this is ad nauseum again. Alright, Chalice on 0 might be better than Chalice on 1 here. This isn't the same person, is it? I don't know how to look at who I just played. Alright, they put a card on the bottom of their library. Ooh, one turn too slow. I think we mutavault and we pass the turn. Give the opponent the least amount of information here. Watch Lotus Bloom. So I don't think they can get Angels. Angels has to go off the turn they go off. I don't think they can do Phyrexian Life here. So I think we're in the clear to get a Blood Moon out. Which I think is our best bet. This way their Lotus Bloom has to come off, suspend for them to get black mana. And they need white mana. White mana can be produced from a Pentad Prism, but they're not going to get as much value off their Pentad Prism, being only one color Sunburst. Alright. Dark Slick Shores? Nothing. Alright. Playing a land. We have Chandra's for days, peeps. Kind of wondering if we hold Chalice for later. Trying to... Pentad could be for 1. Could be for 1. It could be for 2 with a Lotus Bloom. Lightning Storm and Laboratory Maniac are 3. If we think we can live for 2 more turns, next turn play Chandra, the following turn Chalice on 3, then we're okay. I think we might just risk that. And the reason I think we can risk that is because they have to have mana fixing in hand of some type to make Lotus Bloom work. If they have Pentad for 1 anyway, we lose. I can't predict whether the Pentad would be on 2 or 1 because of the Sunburst. I don't know. Maybe by the end of this we'll figure this matchup. I guess Chalice on 0 would have been better. Now that I'm looking at Lotus Bloom over there. Yep. Chalice on 0 is very good against Lotus Bloom. Yeah, we're figuring it out. Alright, well maybe we won't get punished here for figuring it out as they cast it. We'll go with our plan. Chandra into Chalice on 3. Snaring Bridge is awful here. We'll jam a Chandra. We'll stick with our line. Hope we're not punished. Yeah, now I'm thinking about that. Chalice on 0 is the better play. I'll play this out. Exile card. Okay. And hope they don't go off here. Doesn't look like they are. Excellent. All right. I think we were not punished here. So we're going to add the mana. We're going to try to jam a Chalice on 3. And we're going to call that good, hopefully. I don't think we normally want to be playing a Chalice on 3. I don't think you can really pack this. And I don't know if they have anything in the main board to get rid of a Chalice. Seems unlikely. Or he may just attempt to go off right here. He has to hit it in the first, what, 18 lands? Unless he's got some fixing. Okay. Let's see how this works. Okay, what are we? Here's Angel's Grace. This has to finish resolving, right? He's got his Pact in hand now. Ooh, a Leyline. Ooh. I don't think I saw a Leyline on our last opponent. Pentab Prism. He's got to get enough to kill us, though, too. We don't know what he started with in hand. Okay. Our opponent is afraid to continue. What do you got, opponent? So Leyline's a tricky card, but we're going to be the aggro play again. I don't think we can out-control our opponent here, mainly because of their game plan. Opt. We're down to 4. Oh, land. I think he needs a few more lands. What's he drawn here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14 cards. So he had 5 in hand. So if all 5 are lands, and he had Lightning Storm, well, 4 lands of Lightning Storm, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He has 10. He has enough lands, I think. Question is, does he have Lightning Storm? And a way to fix his mana to not die if he needs to go further. 1 life. Oh, got a land. Do they need just 1 more land? He has 2 Simian Spirit Guides, so he can pay, and he has a temple, or a mountain. He can pay for Lightning Storm. Alright. Our opponent died there to their ad nauseum. Alright. I think we go with the same package as we did before. Ensnaring Bridges are out. These pieces are in. Slag Storms are out. I think... I can't decide if I want this Spellskite or not. I think instead of 1 Chandra, we'll do 1 Spellskite. We'll run that back. I think the Chandra is good for digging. Actually. Oh, no, because we're the aggressor, so Koth is slightly better. Yeah, we'll run this. I like Chandra to dig. But I guess our other Chandra's doing the same digging. weird way. Alright. We have a 1-lander, 2 Chandras, a Rabble Master that actually might not be fast enough by turn. I can't even play a Rabble Master. Alright, we gotta mulligan this. Okay, Chalice on 0 was good. We determined we need a land for this to be live. Chalice on 3 is pretty good too. Man, I don't like this hand very much. We don't have a Blood Moon effect. We're not going to do anything if we don't draw anything. All right, I'm gonna mulligan one more time here, maybe more. Ooh. All right, I think this is keepable. We're on 1 land. We have a Simian Spirit Guide. We may get Blood Moon on turn 1. Spellskite. As much as I want Spellskite, he's not going to do much if we're not playing anything. So I'm going to put him to the bottom. If I get the opportunity to, I'll probably Blood Moon. There's a Lotus Bloom. Because Blood Moon does turn off quite a bit of their deck. If we have to, we'll Eidolon early. Alright. I think because of how good Blood Moon was in our game 1, I'm going to skip playing Eidolon here, and we'll wait for a turn to Blood Moon. And that's mainly because Phyrexian Unlife is 3 mana, and Angel's Grace, he's not going to fire it off right now. This allows us to Eidolon next turn as well. And then we'll just have to hope for land for a Rabble Master. But I think Blood Moon hurts them enough. We have a card on the bottom and a card on the bottom. Alright, we get our mountain. That's good. We'll go ahead and... because I think we want Blood Moon down. We don't want them to put their Unlife out there with a Rabble Master. That makes Rabble Master probably a turn or even too slow. This will allow us to get Rabble Master out next turn. Chalice on 0 here off the top would be fabulous. Okay, Pentad for 1. I think it's just Rabble Mastery here. He gets this off Suspend, he can add Nauseam and Angel's Grace. Yeah. In case he doesn't have all the pieces, because he did bottom 2 things with Serum Visions. Just in case he's got a turn or 2 before he gets his cards. We'll start punching him in the face. A land and Chandra would be excellent. We would probably do Chandra into Eidolon here. We'll see. We'll see. Our opponent's Lotus Bloom's coming off of Suspend. Excuse me. All right, they're gonna just go for it here. So I think they've got the win. I'll just make sure Lightning Storm is their win con. Again, they have Laboratory Maniac, and we'll just make sure they have it. Dragonlord Dramoka, kind of interesting. We'll see what else they got in here. Make sure there's nothing funny. There's a Disenchant. A couple Disenchants. Or no, it just moved over. Oh no, there's two. There's two Disenchants. Alright, that's our opponent's deck. Alright. Make sure they can cast this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go ahead and cast it. Playing an island. I'm just waiting to see their card to concede. I don't know if our opponent's attempting to win with Laboratory Maniac here or not. They might be able to. Little style points here. And draw. So I'll let them do this. Alright. Alright, I think we just run it back. We've now played this matchup several times in a row. I think we're still the aggressor, as weird as it sounds. I mean, Ensnaring Bridge is doing 0 here. Grafdigger's Cage is doing nothing. Torpor Orb does nothing. Shattering Spree is a possibility. Anger does nothing. Slagstorm hits for 3 to the face. Is sorcery speed. I think the trick here is that if we would have had an Abrade and he went for that route, we could have killed the creature. So it's always that. I like to play first. This doesn't have anything we want really in it. I think I have to ship it back. Alright. Here's something. We can do a Chalice on 0. We can get a Blood Moon or a Rabble Master out immediately. Blood Moon might be the choice. Rabble Master's pretty quick on turn 1 though. We'll see what's on top. A Mountain makes me almost want to... almost makes me want to Rabble. I think because we're the aggressor, I didn't see too much creature removal. I think we just go for it. And see if Rabble Master on turn 1 can win it for us. We're going to go ahead and put a Chalice out on 0 as well. And we'll be off to the races. We know we're drawing a Mountain, so we'll just play Mountain and smash in for... What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. If we got a Mutavault, obviously the math would be slightly different here. Our worry is a Phyrexian Unlife here on turn 3. Not sure we're avoiding that though. Unless we draw runner lands here for our Blood Moon. They put a card on top of their library. Makes me a little nervous. Suspend a Lotus Bloom. And here's where like a Mutavault would be lethal next turn, because we're going to hit for 3 goblins plus 5. That's 8, 9, 10. No, it's you have to have Mutavault. Hold on, mathing. You have to have Mutavault on the turn 2 for it to matter. Okay. Really, you have to have it on turn 1. So it has not Summoning Sickness in turn 2. I'll have Stickball Russ explain it over in the forums. Alright, Gemstone Mine's a bit of a pain. We are going to beat this Lotus Bloom in order to kill them, because it comes off in 2 turns, and we have lethal for 2 turns. Or in 2 turns. It's an interesting draw. So I don't see any reason not to play this. A land would have probably been better. Here they can Phyrexian Unlife. A basic Plains is really good for our opponent. Yep. So we're going to get them below. We don't have any way to really bolt their face, unfortunately. They're not going to get their mana off of Lotus Bloom, though, because of our Chalice. I believe that interaction's correct. And so he'll be at 3 mana here for the next couple turns. The Mountain's great here, mainly because it'll shut down any blue mana that they have. And I think we have it next turn. Should be countered, I think. And then actually does 2 damage to them. To infect. Okay. We definitely have lethal. They don't have enough mana to do really anything, though. They don't have black mana. So I think we got it. Looks like Rabble Master on 1 was the wise choice here. Our opponent is thinking. Just thinking. Just thinking. don't think they have an out. They could Angels, right? Can the Angels grace when they're at negative life to not lose the game? Angels grace. Let's read this card real fast. You can't lose the game. Damage that would reduce your life total to less than 1 reduces it to 1 instead. You're already below, so I don't think that works. Nope, I don't think there's anything for our opponent to do. How's everyone's evening? Alright, there we go. Our opponent concedes the game. Alright, we'll update the record here. We are 1-1 in our matches, and we are now, what are we, 3-3. Now that we've played that matchup twice in a row, I think I could have gone back and won the first one. Playing a little smarter. Just need to play a little smarter. That's all right. 1-1. Let's see if we can stay positive here. Join our match. I'll chat off to the side here. All right. Here's the Mutavault. Turn 1. Goblin Rabble Master. Craziness that we could do here. Turn 3 kill with the land draw. We have 2 spells we can't really play. Let's think here. So if we were to play Mutavault, and we'll go to 3, we'll go to 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. And play Rabble Master and nothing else. I do love me a Rabble Master starting hand. I think we need a mulligan. Our opponent also mulligan to 6. Well, now we can't play Magic. So we went from a 1 land hand to a 0 land. So I think we mulligan. Our opponent kept their hand. Alright. 3 lands. Chandra Blood Moon. Really late Blood Moon. 3 lands is getting us pretty much everything in our deck, though. I don't know if I want to go to... I don't know if I want to go to 4. We'll keep this and hope something nice on top. We'll put that to the bottom. I don't think we need another one. Okay. We'll play Mutavault and pass the turn. It's a bit of a slower start from our affinity player, so we may have something here. It just got quicker though. Just got a lot quicker. Oh boy. All right. It's can equip that up. Punches in the face for a lot. Oh boy. Welding Jar is going to save this Signal Pest here. So we can play literal nothing this turn. Hit us for 6, 7, 8, 9. Hit us for 9. We can ping off the sack. I think we're just dead. I don't know if I want to show them anything else. We'll punch him for 1 or 2. We'll see what they play. For some reason, they sack Welding Jari here. I don't think I want to just show them any other information, though, especially the creatures. Oh, well then. Well then. Alright, let's go to our next game. I think we have a better matchup after the board here. Let's see here. Alright, in this matchup, I believe we are the control player. So Shattering Spree's coming in. Spellskite's good for any targets. Anger is a good sweeper. Slagstorm's a good sweeper. We have a Braids as well in the main. Let's see here. Boil and Hazoret don't do anything. Eidolon is actually too slow. Rival Master we took out because we're the control matchup. Graph Diggers, I don't think there's anything we need to worry about. Spyglass could be something here. Ravager. Can turn off Ink Moth. Cranial Plating. It might just be better than Chandra here. Walking Ballista is pretty good. Chalice isn't actually as good in this matchup. We are on the play though. I'll leave 3 in. Oh. Chalice on 1 is alright. I feel like we have a lot of ways to deal with a lot of their board. So I'd almost rather have Spyglass. Actually, we'll keep Chalice in. We won't worry about Spyglass. We'll have our Shattering Sprees and a Braids to take care of things, and Spellskite. I think that's more correct. I think it's more correct. Ooh, this is a hand. All right, I'm gonna be greedy. Blood Moon shuts off Ink Moth, Blink Moth. Shattering Spree can get us out of trouble for a turn or two, and Anger the Gods will sweep up the rest. It's a little iffy being on 1 land here, especially with our deck. It doesn't have all the lands, but I think this may be alright. Blinky and a drum. Mox up. Okay. Our friend over there is spitting out their hand. So a land would be great. We can Slagstorm or Anger. Simian Spirit Guide's pretty good here too. I think we go ahead and just I think Slagstorm's fine here. We get rid of their board, turns off Mox Opal, they can't turn on Blink Moth. Next turn, hopefully draw land. If not, we can shoot away the Springleaf Drum, possibly. I don't think there's a reason to start getting punched in the face here. So we'll do this. We'll just Anger. Okay, Citadel. Okay, there's a Ravager. Can't imagine him putting the counters on just yet. He's down to one card. A Blink Moth each turn is a very slow clock. We really could use a land, but I think I'm just going to blow up our little Ravager here. It's probably one of the worst Shattering Sprees, but where they're at right now, it's probably an okay Shattering Spree. A little better than damage just because it straight destroys them. Okay. It's a little frustrating to see right after. Alright, well, we need to draw lands to do something, unfortunately. Alright. Continue to draw nothing. We can Slag Storm, getting rid of our Steel Overseer here. This reduces this to a 4. They come in for 5, 6. We get one more turn. We can Blood Moon. They're going to hit us for 5, tick up 6. If we Blood Moon, we don't even really have a chance. Blood Moon, it's always the answer. Yeah, Blood Moon, they get punched in the face for 7 and then dead on board. This draw's been pretty awful. Oh. Hit us for 7. Let's see if we draw a land here. Ah, Blood Moon. Ah. Ah. Well, let's see how many down it was for our first land. There we go. 3 more turns. Abrade on the... We would have gotten the land after the Abrade. Well, that was a fast 0-2 there. 2, 5. That's all right. We're still in the running to go positive. Just need to turn this around real fast. How you doing, Don Rawls? How you doing? Let's see if we can get a win here. Get back to even. I feel like Affinity is a really good matchup for us too. We have the bridges, the Shattering Sprees. I don't think there's a reason we should have lost that, but maybe we should have mulliganed the hand. Look for more answers. We will play first. All right. asking ourselves if a Rabble Master on natural turn 3 is good enough. The answer is no. Walking Ballista on 2 isn't any good either. And Gemstone Caverns is not meant to be in our hand, so we're going to mulligan. We're going to mulligan to a no-lander. A no-lander. So one-time use lander. We got Rabble Master and Walking Ballista back, and I think actually, didn't we have the Braid as well? So we just swapped a couple mountains for these cards. We will mulligan. Alright, Walking Ballista decided to go get his buddy, Walking Ballista. And Rabble Master went running away. Our opponent has mulliganed to 6 cards. Maybe we keep this and hope to just pick off something like a bird or an elf. Hope to draw into an answer. Alright, we'll keep this. We don't want that. We'll hope for something interesting here. And hope we're not playing something too aggressive. Alright. There's an elf. Ooh. Ooh, okay. If it is elves, Chalice on 1 would be really good. If it is something like Ponza, Green Devotion, what else runs an Arbor Elf? MTG Goldfish just ran a weird little brew with Arbor Elf. If it's anything else than elves, Chalice on 1 feels a little silly. And we give them ramp. I think Chalice on 1 is still the play here. We're going to hedge our bet that it is elves. We can pick off something with Walking Ballista here. We'll give him the ramp. I'm not seeing a 3-mana thing being too crazy. Alright, Elvish Visionary. Alright, if this is the Goldfish deck that was recently played, it's Paramonicon or whatever. Paramonicon? Which means he's looking for a double ETB effects, needing red mana as well. Which would be better to get rid of this Arbor Elf here, in case he does, because he's going to play a land. But if he also plays a land and then just goes for like a Avalanche Rider, then the Rabble Master's fine here, because then we can do Walking Ballista next turn. I think we want to be aggressive here. I don't see an Elvish Visionary beating us. Nor is it something we want to pick off. I could be wrong leaving the Arbor Elf out for longer. I don't think we're going to be punished too hard though. Could also be just elves with Elvish Visionary. It's a little odd to have Elvish Visionary. This gives us a chance to get, so it is elves. Alright, so Chalice on 1, I think, is probably doing a lot more than we realize here. We'll let that through. Alright, Magus of the Moon is going to do a whole lot of nothing here. It is a 2/2 though. Wondering how we get around that. Alright. I'm going to swing them with the goblins. If they block with their champion here, yeah, then we'll Walking Ballista and take care of it. That was good removal. Got rid of the Elvish Visionary as well. Looks like Walking Bliss is doing a-okay here. Let's see here. Magus and Blood Moon look pretty bad in this. Ooh. Ooh. The Stampede. So we're playing like a Pauper elf deck almost. This is kind of cool. What did they hit? Put a card on the bottom, bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Draw a card. Tap for anything. I have a feeling Chalice on 1 was very powerful there. Alright. Torpor Orb's pretty okay here. Sometimes they have Rex Sage. Spyglass is probably good here because if they're running Azuri or the other guy, the other elf, Grafdigger and Spellskite. I really am not thinking that he's the cord. I mean, he might be cording. I don't think he's collected company, especially if he's doing lead the Stampede kind of stuff. I think Anger's good here. Rabblemaster, although he kind of did it that game, I don't think he's actually the reason to play it. Eidolon is really good. So, like, if it's true elves, Eidolon is actually pretty substantial damage. But we sit behind a bridge when we play it. It's kind of weird. I think Magus is actually not very good here, although it could chump block. Koth, actually I don't like in this matchup. This is why I like Chandra. She can pick a few things off. The Abrades are probably okay. Really, the Rabblmasters need to come out. If I don't get the Chalice on 1, I have a feeling I'm stuck. Both Angers, the Torpor Orb, and a Source Spyglass, I think, are the plays. Take one more Blood Moon out for the other Spyglass. I think we run this back. Torpor Orb's good here. Braid's good here. This hand's excellent. I actually think we're definitely keeping this. Is this worth it to put out on turn 1 to then have a turn 2 Ensnaring Bridge, turn 3 Torpor Orb? Then we don't care. I think so. We'll get rid of a Braid here. It's probably the worst of these 4 cards. We'll accelerate into Ensnaring Bridge and Torpor Orb. Probably be okay unless they have Rex Sage in hand, so then maybe we should just be playing Torpor Orb first. Let's play Torpor Orb just to be real safe here. I really think Rex Sage is one of their few ways to kill artifacts or enchantments. And then we just sit behind a bridge. Should be good enough. We can empty our hand pretty quickly here too. So I think we're going to be fine. Chandra's really good here too. I think we just bridge. We bridge, they can attack us this turn, and then we should be able to get down to one card in hand, and Chandra should be able to win us the game from here. Chandra is a real good draw off the top. Got it. Play that. Go ahead and ritual to get ourselves empty-handed. close to it, plus up, and we're just gonna sit behind a little bit of our like mini lock here. Luckily we don't have like 2 lands in hand. That would have been pretty bad. It's always a little dangerous if you can't get your hand clear enough to get under low power creatures. This is actually helping us by boosting elf creatures. I think we're pretty safe here, though. Another bridge would be really good. Chandra's actually not very good here. We'll exile to see what we have on top. Walking Ballista. I don't know if we want to cast this. 2 damage to his face is really good, but having this guy keep pumping up when we don't have much to do with our hand might be good as well. On the turns we draw a mountain. I'm going to go ahead and cast it. I don't know if that's really the correct play here, but I like having a little extra damage. We're still at 1 card in hand. I think this is okay to do. We'll get a little trapped if we get a second Chandra in hand. I have a feeling if we get a second Chandra here, we'll just minus this Chandra to remove something and play our extra Chandra out. There's the Rex Sage. Doesn't do anything. And we get the concession. Alright. After getting decimated by Affinity there, we got the 2-0 against Elves. Alright, let's see if we can come out ahead in our friendly league here. Just one more match to go. Hope for a good matchup. Good matchup in our favor. All right, we have a pretty nutty hand here. Nutty as in we have the Gemstone Caverns, which gives us the ability to get a turn 1 Magus. I'm actually probably going to keep, but I'm probably not going to use this. I don't really want to exile anything. Ooh, okay. Ooh, Chandra could be good if we can get to her. It's Basic Forest into Noble Hierarch. It's still probably worthwhile to get the Magus down, but if we wait 1 turn, we can ping off a Hierarch. So my gut tells me to play the Blood Moon, but my want is to show why Chandra's in the deck. Chandra can come down on turn 2. We're getting punished for not doing the Gemstone Cavern now, because we would have a Chandra on turn 1 and ping this off. I think we're just gonna pass. With a Basic Forest, the Blood Moon effect doesn't really hold as much weight here. We have a voice token guy, all right, and another basic forest, and a noble. Now we have some simian spirit guides. 3, 4. Can't do both, unfortunately. It's got 3 cards in hand. Blood Moon still isn't doing too much. We'll take a lot more than just 2 here, unfortunately. Alright, we're going to play Magus. We're actually not going to block this turn if they attack him with Voice, which is very likely. We are going to wait. And we're going to wait because Magus can help protect our Chandra, and then Chandra's going to be able to pick off a Noble Hierarch per turn. And then if we need the block, we'll do it. This is a little more passive than probably this deck wants to play. Ooh. That's a good draw too. That's a good draw because then we could ping both of it off. One, two, three, 4. One, 2, 3, 4. We can't abrade as well. This is a new match. This is game 1 of this match. So that's why Magus is in. Right now I would leave actually Magus in because we are seeing Bant colors, but only 1 color. We're actually going to go ahead and Desperate here. I'm thinking Collected Company is basically what's in our opponent's hand. So Chandra probably was going to eat something here. Yeah, you missed the end of my last match, man. We'll ping something off here. I'm expecting Collected Company out of our opponent here. Yep. So Grafdigger's Cage is going to come in. This Chandra is still fine in this matchup. Looking actually very good right now. And we'll hold Magus back. We can't really lose Chandra here easily, so we'll probably not block. If something gets real hairy, we'll go ahead and block. Magus isn't doing anything here. Given the opportunity, we'll pick off the Haven. That's fine. Ghost Quarter. We're not really seeing anything crazy out of our opponent here. Another Collected Company? Okay. I haven't quite figured out what my opponent's doing. So 4 in the air. Hitting Chandra. Hitting Chandra. Alright. Extra land's nice. Really, I just think we ping it off. I don't know. It's hard to say. I think we'll go ahead and just ping the Haven off. I think we just jam a walking ballista for 2. If we get to like increase the walking ballista, I'd be super happy. I still haven't quite figured out what our opponent's doing. So we have Ghost Quarters, we have Aven Mine Sensors. So we have kind of like a green-white taxes, because we have this guy to replay the Ghost Quarters. Collected Companies. We'll see what our opponent attacks with here. I'm probably okay to trade the Magus here. Yeah, we'll just trade the Magus. I guess like Horizon Canopy's a reason not to trade a Temple Garden. I think Chandra's too important here. She picks off a creature each turn. A Braid can get rid of our little friend over here. I don't know. It's a weird matchup, that's for sure. Okay. Yes, I would like to use. There's a real weird reason we could just pick off the knight right now, and then if we pick off the knight now, we can actually add a counter to our walking ballista. Weird. If we add a counter to walking ballista, we can take care of this. We'll take care of this, and this can swing in. We ping off one of these, ping off one more, then we're left with nothing. Meanwhile, we could do this. I really want to just pick this guy off. Alright. Let's go ahead and pick him off. I think that's the time to do it. Oh, voice token. Yes. That is correct, voice token. That's bad. That might have been a mistake. We weren't paying attention to the voice token over there. If we block, we ping ping, becomes a 2/2. I think it's like a fog. I'll take the fog. Chalice of the Void. I don't know if we want to play that out. I think we just start pinging stuff off. Just get rid of their creatures here. We're gonna get hit for quite a bit here. 5 damage. We definitely could find like a bridge. We're at least on a 4-turn clock here. I think we've misplayed a couple times during this game. I won't say we deserved. We don't deserve that bridge there. But I will take it. We'll play this Chalice on 1. Seems to be something to prevent things. Our Chandra we've lost now looks really good because it could ping the birds. The nobles would have been probably not killed. At this point we would have killed something else if we wouldn't have made that voice mistake here. Knight can get big here. So we're playing like this Bant Nightfall kind of deck here. I can't say I'm very familiar with playing against Bant Nightfall. Do we know what they normally play? I'm just not very familiar. Chandra's really good here. We can start ticking up. I don't know if there's a reason to kill anything, especially when we're just a few away from her ultimate. So we're gonna go for the ultimate plan. When we ultimate as well, we'll have we'll have 2 spells we need. They're thinning their deck and looking for probably an answer. Not in lands, but definitely in their card selection. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Horizon Canopy here, and then cracking it. They're digging for anything to destroy this Ensnaring Bridge. They had Aven, which makes me think they're light on answers to the bridge. I'm guessing it's probably like Rex Sage as well. That would be my guess. There's this weird interaction if they could get something with like Pride Mage, Quasali Pride Mage, with Exalted, then the bird becomes a problem here. I guess they can just blow up all of our lands with Ghost Quarter if they want. They can keep getting Horizon Canopy back here as well. So we want to play this out of hand so that they can't attack us. The question is, do we want to just deal 4 to this so that they can't keep getting back Horizon Canopy? That's probably the answer. They probably have a few more, but they'd have to spend the time with the Knight doing that. If we were to tick this up. We need to tick it up again before we can get to ultimate. So I think we're going to go ahead and just kill this so they can't reoccur that Horizon Canopy here. And then we'll play our other Chandra out. We'd really like a second bridge. That would probably seal this game up. Just not here, because we can't pay for it. I think where we are, we're in okay shape. Just okay. Not great. Please not Rex Sage. One time, don't have it, please. 3 mana. Ewit. Getting back. I guess I'll get back their little snake guy, right? Naga. Yeah. So using their little cleric to dig. He can't play it this turn, I don't think. Oh, he could, yeah, he can play it this turn. I love these kinds of decks. The angles that you have to get whatever you need to is really good. Okay, Gavany. So Blood Moon's definitely a lot better than we thought it was initially. Actually getting a Blood Moon would be alright here as well. A second Ensnaring Bridge, I'll take that. Or a Blood Moon would be great. We're feeling pretty safe now. He could attack in and get in for 1 on the Chandra with the bird and a pump from Gavany. It seems a little bad though. I do like this though, draw 2 every turn. It's like cracking a clue. Another voice token, or voice of resurgence. Koth is a solid draw. We'll just double check that we don't have anything crazy. Don't want to play the Rabble Master. We'll play Koth out. And our opponent scoops. Alright, Torpor Orb is probably coming in case of a Rex Sage. Qasali Pride Mage though is maybe more likely. So we'll see if we have room for it. Spellskite looks good here. Sorcerer's Spyglass might be good here. And Grafdigger Cage is a definite yes. Eidolons are maybes. Angers are probably very good here though. What's bad is, let's see here. What is bad? Goblin Rabble Master is probably the worst card in here, which will come out, and then we'll get these first 4 cards. Bring these in. Walking Ballista is probably really good. This Chandra is actually pretty decent for picking off all the little creatures. Lets us dig as well. Koth is probably okay, but not great. I'd rather win through Chandra and have another Anger. And then if we can find room for 2 Spyglasses, that would be great. Although Magus will help us in this matchup, it might be worth taking out. Braids might also. There's no real reason to be instant speed removal. And then let's see here. So Spyglass can name Gavany, could name Horizon, could name Pride Mage, could name Arbor Elf, but I don't think they're playing Arbor Elf. Could name I can't come up with maybe enough to warrant it. Torpor Orb would be good if we think it's Rec Sage. So we have our removal here. Oops. I think we just go with this, the removal package, little protection, prevent things from coming in from the sideboard, or from the libraries. I'm trying to think if there's anything else we would want to switch. Problem Master's bad. I just don't like Koth sometimes. Oops. I think if we see anything, we'll keep Torpor Orb and Spyglass as an option. They can be a game 3 option if we need it. Alright, this time I think we're going to actually play our Gemstone Caverns. Well, is there a reason to have Gemstone Caverns out? 2, 3, we would need a ramp of some sorts. I'm going to keep, we have our Ensnaring Bridge. Walking Ballista is good too. I don't think I'm going to play the Gemstone Cavern just because we have Chandra in hand and I don't want to be down a land. Our opponent is mulliganing to an Oblivion. Mulligan to 5. We have no actions to perform. Fetches basic force because we're a Blood Moon deck and has Noble. Anger of the Gods is fabulous draw here, so we'll just play Gemstone Caverns and pass. Anger and Ensnaring Bridge will be perfect in this matchup. Walking Ballista after to follow up would be great as well. And I actually see no reason to rush out any of this, so we may hold Desperate Ritual for Chandra later in the game. It's a 4/4 knight. Wow. That's a big knight. It seems to be kind of all in on this knight. What we're going to do is we're going to play a Walking Ballista on 1. If he decides to path this, that's fine. And we're going to try to get this knight off the board. He can obviously do his knight trickery, so maybe a turn or two. Or we might have to play like Chandra instead of Anger here. Depends if he plays a fetch land. Or his little cleric. Snake cleric guy. That looks like a snake, doesn't it? This is kind of weird interaction because he can play a Windswept Heath, get it back, and then his knight becomes in a weird way, this is really good for us, actually. We'll take the 5 here. There's definitely a reason to play Chandra here next, especially with this being played. It's a 4/4. It can become a 5/5. It'll be a 4/4. Actually, we might. Hold on. Okay. Blood Moon does 0 right now. It's not what we want to do. We're going to play a land. The big question here is, do we care about Chandraine now or later? I think what we can do is we can actually ping this down and then we can Anger and wipe their board. Because the knight is tapped, it can't do the sack and search and make it grow. And I'm not too worried about something that protects here. So we're going to shoot that down. And then we're going to Anger. And we'll pass the turn. I think this is the best way to clear the board. Leaves them with nothing. We have Chandra in hand, which is really good. Kitchen Finks is fine. So our Kitchen Finks across the way is a 3-2. We can play Chandra into Desperate into Ensnaring, which means then we're on Blood Moon or Braid. Means our Chandra is also ticking up. I think this is the play to get the most cards out of hand and to begin putting pressure on. Also, her +2 mana is actually a positive, not a negative, which really helps us out here in our quest to get her to ultimate. This also puts a clock on our opponent, and they have 1 card in hand up here, which I think is the right move here. We are a little bit afraid of like a Collected Company hitting like 2 good haymakers here. That could be a problem for us. We're also likely to just sit at 2 cards in hand for a little bit. Ooh, another Chandra. Let's take a look at the top card here. Chalice. Chalice is a good card. I really mean that. It's like a really good card here because we could put it on 2. That means Chandra's going to take a hit here. We do have a second Chandra in hand though. Putting it on 2 turns off our Braid, but it actually turns off what I think is their only way to deal with Bridge. Because I think it's going to be Quasali Pride Mage. Shirts up Voice and a variety of other things. I think we're going to be rewarded more by playing it on 2 than not casting it and giving them 2 damage, especially at 19. As said, Chandra will take a hit here. We can actually probably just minus her to get rid of maybe something that's kind of pesky, and then play our second Chandra out. This is a little awkward because now Chandra actually goes a little lower than we wanted her. Yeah, that's a bit awkward. That's alright. I think we're in a really good position. Walking Ballista is fabulous. I think we're going to just play Walking Ballista on 2. And we'll actually go ahead and shoot down the Hierarch. Can't do it though, because Chalice. But it gets us low enough in the cards. I think this will do just nicely, although we won't be pumping Walking Ballista. Ah, okay. Playing Evolution. Well then, What's at 4 and 5 mana that could punish us? So here we have a very weird situation where we can actually Chandra killing Courser, Chandra killing Kitchen Finks, Ballista killing Kitchen Finks. And the reason that's weird is because then it kind of clears up our board, but it actually makes the Eldritch Evolution only able to find an Eternal Witness. And then he'd have to take 2 turns to do the Witness. He already has 2 green mana, so he can always do the Evolution. Wow. I think we're going to go ahead and kind of take that line, though, here. Can't attack. And you can Eldritch Evolution with this, hitting something for 5 versus 3. I think we actually just want to be empty-handed here. I don't know, it's a tough one because the evolution means he can go searching through his deck. And obviously with the persist triggers and stuff, it makes his Kitchen Finks really useful here. He'd be spending the turn to do it, which I think I'm okay with him doing. Text messages. So our opponent's tanking, rightly so. They have an Eldritch Evolution and an unknown card in hand. Giving them access to 5 CMC is probably dangerous. I'm not really sure what they could go get though. That matters. Rex Sage obviously would kill Ensnaring Bridge if they have it, or an Acidic Slime. The Primate or Primage Quasali would be a good one as well. They could do that off the Hierarch. They could then use it to blow up what they wanted. I forget if Eldritch is cast. I don't think it is. Is Eldritch? Ooh. Engineered Explosives on 0. Yeah, Eldritch Evolution is not a cast. Well, this is interesting. So they were probably pondering whether they should do it for 3 or not. 3 would have given them quite a bit of things. So we're pinging it off for 0 here. So I think we actually just want to kill this Kitchen Finks. That way if they evolution, then they lose the creature. I'm starting to think that he has an answer for Ensnaring Bridge, because he would have done explosives for 3. He had red, green, white mana, and he has blue as well in the Noble Hierarch. So he's getting for 3, probably either another Kitchen Finks, Eternal Witness, or Rex Sage here. Maybe Pride Mage, just a little inefficient. I love this card. In Goldfish's recent budget Magic, he uses it as like land destruction with the creature entering the battlefield. Really fun, really solid. Maybe not the most solid, but really fun. Ewhite getting back Eldritch Evolution so you can use it next turn. I think this is a good play, value. I don't think he cares about the Ensnaring Bridge at this moment. He will have to lose one of these creatures, though, so I'm not really sure if he's super gaining anything. We know he targeted... he returned Engineered Explosive. So he's planning on using Engineered Explosive on 3, probably. With that knowledge, I actually think I want to kill both of these creatures, since we drew another Chandra. He'll have explosives and something else in hand, and we'll go to the races with him. I thought he was going to get back the evolution, but it says it targeted explosives in my chat. Just in case we were to hit something. We won't play that. Spellskite's really good here. We'll probably be blocking if he ever gets to attack. And then we can also save our Ensnaring Bridge from one Primage type activation. Things are looking good here. This is game 2. Our opponent's low on clock. There's been a couple of tough decisions. I don't think they've been playing too quick, though. Here we just need to make sure we don't lose bridge. Which might be slightly hard with that. Might be slightly hard. We'll plus up Chandra here. No reason to play Blood Moon, not with an Engineered Explosives. And we're just going to pass the turn. This does give our opponent opportunities to start attacking us, but they don't have a whole lot down just yet. So they may hold this for a turn or two. Or not. Alright, so you can attack in if you'd like to. Probably our biggest fear here is a Knight, because it can grow. Okay, we'll take that and get a land. Exalted Trigger kills our Chandra. Ooh, Tireless Tracker. We'll plus up Chandra, see what we draw. Desperate Ritual is not anything worthwhile. And we'll just play out our Magus and pass turn. At this time, we might be going to time with our opponent here. We may also... getting more white mana. We may, in game 3, just kind of run over them as well, because of the time. This Tireless Tracker can grow pretty large here as I draw cards. Another Ensnaring Bridge obviously will probably seal this up if we get one. Otherwise we may be going to game 3. I think game 3. We won game 1, right? Yeah. Alright, both are at Chandra. Since both are at Chandra, I don't think there's a reason to block just yet. Kind of drawing all of our rituals now. At this point, we'll block Tireless Tracker just to save us points of damage. Let's see here, Chalice. Place a Chalice on 2. Not really sure it's going to stop a whole lot. I think we die in 2 turns here. Just getting a little more valued out. This puts us to 2 and nothing. We'll pass turn, let them attack, and then we'll go to our next game. I don't think we want the Spyglass. I don't think Torpor Orb's going to do anything for us. Graph Diggers is still good because of Eldritch Evolution. Excuse me. So what is good in this matchup? Eidolon would be pretty good. Spellskite protects things. Walking Ballista is good. I think everything's fine. I think we just need to close out the game a little quicker. With that being said, Koth might be worth pulling in instead of this Chandra. So we'll run that. We never saw this Chandra. She doesn't kill Tireless Tracker. She kills quite a bit of everything else. They might have boarded out Avens. Even though they're evasive, we don't ever search her deck, so they might not use them. We'll run it with Koth, because Koth is a little quicker of a clock. Yes, I'd like to play first. Does nothing on turn 1. Does nothing on turn 2. Take care, Don Rawls. I will try to kick some butt here in the last game. I think we got to mulligan this. Wow, this is good in terms of it has our sideboard cards, has a sweeper, but it has no lands. Really good at mulliganing to no lands. We'll mulligan this one as well. We need action. This one can be good if we get one more land, so I think we're going to try to keep it, scry into a land, and maybe Walking Ballista will help us on turn 2 or 3, possibly. So we'll keep this. We'll keep that land. That's good. Land and pass turn. So I think here the play is going to actually be Walking Ballista on 1, and then we're just going to straight remove the Noble Hierarch here. We're going to play a little bit of the clock here to our advantage. Gives us a little time walk on our opponent as well, it looks like. That's fairly aggressive. We have one other one in the deck. That being said, I think we want to get down this Ensnaring Bridge ASAP. Like a chance of something crazy. Which we can here. I think we will. Noble can get under Bridge in a weird way. So the Slagstorm is going to come in handy here. In the event that they do have the Knight, the Knight's only going to be a 3/3 here. If they play the token, the Voice of Resurgent, I think I also remove the board. The Tireless Tracker is fine. He's going to get 2 clue tokens out of it, and then we'll take the Tireless Tracker off the board here. Again, with time, I think this is a fine play. He's not going to attack for a few turns. That's a really good draw. We'll just pass the turn. He has plenty of draws to draw out of this. Wow, another Surgical. And an Eldritch Evolution. He's definitely got all the answers. He's got to kill the Grafdigger Cage before he can use Evolution because he can't search. Koth is really good here. So Koth offers us the clock that we need. That maybe we didn't have the other game. And Collected Company. Our Grafdigger's Cage is really doing work here. Going a little overtime. Eternal Witness. Our opponent has a fistful of cards, that's for sure. I think they got to find an answer here next turn, or we'll just end up winning through Koth. That's a really good draw as well. We'll play that just to give ourselves some insurance. We'll untap. And we'll go ahead and pass the turn. Although it looks like we're going to win this game on time, based on if they can't remove Koth here, I have a feeling we would win with Koth anyway. Although he is gaining life, I think we would do a little bit more than him, especially when we draw our mountains. And this is one of those weird ones where, like, if this game were to progress, I would pick off like Tireless Tracker, I would kill Eternal Witness, I'd kill the Courser following that, and I'd move from there. Magus actually doesn't do a whole lot for us. So we'll just Emblem. There's no reason to risk it. Our opponent's a little salty about our deck, I think. That or they're salty about their deck. Just a little bit salty. That's probably an appropriate way to end the evening, though. A little bit of salt there. Our opponent's not too thrilled. Got a treasure chest. Got a little bit of play points. We can play again a little bit later. Really quick, though. We Emblem here, and we have the Ensnaring Bridges. I would like to think, without the Grafdigger's Cage, I would have liked to think they'd have an answer. But in game 2, they had a couple of chances to use Evolution to go grab something, and they never did. And I get that they were using engineered explosives to blow up a variety of things, but I think it was just like Evolution on the Noble Hierarch and blow up the Ensnaring Bridge engine and start swinging in. So this game, although he did lose on time, he or she did lose on time, I do think we have the win here. We've emblemed. The moves would be to ping off Tireless Tracker and an E-Witness the following turn to kill this probably Tireless Tracker, just to remove the chance of card draw. And then I don't think it'll let me draw cards, but every extra forest was going to be good. We might actually take a turn off to play Magus down just once to turn on another point of damage, and then we'd go from there. So we went 3-2, got our monies back. Let's update the little scoreboard here real briefly. So we were 3 matches to 2, and we won 7 and lost 6. And that is Pyro Prison. So our Affinity matchup, I think we could have done a little bit better. We had double Ad Nauseam. I'll be interested to hear the feedback on the Ad Nauseam match, if it's just literally a race. I think the Sorcerer's Spyglass was a better choice, and I think after playing the second time around, remembering Chalice on 0 would have been a lot better. Like I said, Affinity was not a great matchup. Our Elves matchup was actually pretty good. We guessed correctly with our Chalice on the unknown opponent. The only reason I knew about the other deck was just because I'd watched it earlier in the evening, and so there's always that chance it could be some rogue deck. I think we would have been fine against the rogue deck. Um, and then our last matchup was not too bad there. I think if they had one or two more ways to answer our bridges, we would have been in trouble. Bridges really held out their own there. I think it might have been incorrect to take the Chandra out game 2, but we did see a lot of X1 creatures. And we had actually not seen a Tireless Tracker that first full game, if I recall. Torpor Orb's pretty much a house when it comes in against the creatures that have the multi enter the battlefield or other type of triggered abilities. And so I definitely like running one of those. We didn't run as much of the Eidolons as I sometimes do at FNM. But the rest of the deck seems good. If you have any suggestions, definitely leave them. You have any comments? I really appreciate any feedback on what I did right, what I did wrong, and how I can improve going forward. With that, I think I'm going to close out the stream. We'll probably stream the league again sometime maybe later this week. Probably maybe like as an FNM special. I don't know if I'm going to FNM locally this Friday. But with that, if you enjoyed the stream, please hit the follow button. And I will see you guys next time. Peace.